Maybe Mike Tyson is the name you remember when you see someone throwing a punch, but a name that reframed history with his devastating punch was no less. That terrified everyone, that stopped everyone, that crushed everyone. The sport, both amateur and professional, involving attack with defense with fists, has experienced diverse fighters. George Rickard, the sport's first great promoter, was the man who made boxing a big business. In 1906, he realized the potential of prize fighting after staging the world's lightweight championship bout between Joe Gans and Oscar Nelson. The man continued to improve more and more, and he's a three-time champion and highly confident. Today, we look back and break down a legendary boxing career from the past, bringing casual viewers up to speed while also providing nostalgia for die-hard boxing fans. Hey guys, I welcome you back to another walkthrough of the boxing genre. This time we have the legendary Petrifying Power, the former professional boxer born in St. Thomas, US Virgin Islands, Julian "The Hawk" Jackson. He would become a three-time world champion in two different weight classes during his nearly two-decade professional career from 1981 to 1998, holding the WBA super welterweight title and the WBC middleweight title twice. Though Julian Jackson was not completely one-dimensional in terms of the technical aspects of the Queensberry rules, attempting to define his style is pointless because of being overshadowed by one word: power. On February 2nd, 1981, Julian faced off against Inocencio Carmona in San Juan, Puerto Rico for his first professional fight. One of the few battles Julian Jackson would win on points was this one, and he did so throughout 4 rounds. As Julian Jackson blasted his way throughout opponents quite literally left, right, and center over the following 15 years and 36 fights, they had to use scorecards only once. The historic boxing phrase, "it's something you're born with," has rarely been more perfectly personified than when applied to Julian Jackson. Julian Jackson admitted to a relatively slow start to boxing and a brief amateur career in an interview with Boxing Insider. He said, "I was about 14, a friend of mine got involved in it, and I just followed him. I ended up loving it, and the rest is history. I had a short amateur career, 17 fights, won 15. Brutal, formidable, destructive, one punch." Possibly the most evocatively accurate, concussive are all words used to describe how hard Julian Jackson hit. Indeed, with a knockout-to-win ratio of 89%, the only thing that surprises this writer about the Ring magazine's 2003 ranking him as the 25th hardest puncher in boxing history is that he wasn't ranked 26 places higher. Julian Jackson's coach agreed, advising the youngster that he didn't have to try and hit hard. All he needed to do was throw the punch and the natural ability would click. Julian added, "I remember as an amateur and the first time I threw a punch was against a professional and I knocked him down. I was about 17 or 18 years old, I caught him with the right hand. That was the first time I realized I had natural power." After making his professional debut, Jackson's later opponents would typically not be as successful or resilient. Jackson would win 28 of his next 29 contests via knockout. William Page was the only boxer to escape Jackson's onslaught until the judges' score unanimously saved him after 6 rounds. However, they did so at the expense of a merciful loss. Most of the people who were initially unfortunate enough to experience Julian Jackson's early power were originally from Puerto Rico, where Jackson briefly resided. Edwin Rodriguez, Marcelino Flores, and Rafael Ayala all missed the bell, signaling the end of the second round. Reyes Escalera is performing slightly better in his hometown of St. Thomas and has advanced to the 3rd place. Given Julian Jackson's first destroyed everyone and everything in his path, 2 things were not immediately apparent until he suffered his first defeat against Mike the Body Snatcher McCallum on August 23, 1986. First, Julian Jackson had a little experience for a boxer with so many fights under his belt due to a short amateur career and a lack of ring minutes. Second, it was clear that Julian Jackson's chin did not contain the same amount of granite as his fists, and observing the fight's high point from McCallum's WBA World Super Welterweight title, both elements seemed very obvious. No matter what, the man proved to be the one. He clarified that he was perfect to be called the power that petrified everyone. And with that note, we're at the end of this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe to us.